Well, good morning. How is everybody this morning? I tried something new today. I went on Periscope about an hour and a half ago and did about a 45-minute deal over there. Whoa, baby, it's different in the morning. Oh my goodness. So let me know that you can hear me and let me know if that fireplace is too loud. I might have to switch the fireplace off. So, you know how that goes. But based on what happened yesterday and the terror attacks, and we were talking about depression, I thought today, because I really didn't have a topic, I thought today would be a good time to talk about hope. So I have the fireplace turned down, but it could be that that fireplace crackling is too loud. So if it is, I can just turn it off and we'll go back to the regular set. But I kind of like the fire, but yesterday I had a special app that had it turned down. So let me know. Good morning, Terry, and Joan is here, Joanne is here, Carrie is here, Victoria is here, Brandon is here. So let me know about that fireplace. But yeah, I went on Periscope this morning and the trolls be crazy. Can hear you, can hear you. Oh, are you over on Periscope, Joanne? Wow, serious like troll problems over there. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy. So you can't hear it. Okay, good. Because I have it turned down. And I don't know if I don't want to turn it on because I'm afraid if I turn it on, I won't be able to turn it off. Isn't it pretty? I love the fireplace. I think it just adds a nice little festive. Yeah. Well, if I turned on, I forget which one. I think it's this one. I think it's that one that's the fireplace. So, I mean, I can always have it like crackling in the background. But my sister, when you name people, it reminds me of Romper Room. I've never seen Romper Room, so I can only imagine. But yeah, so I was over on, and we had 1,000 people over on Periscope that checked in and out. So I don't know because if I did Berlin Attack, if they featured it. I love fireplaces in general too, but there was people coming in. It was like crazy. And this is far more relaxed. It's good for long form. You know, my friends are here, you know, type of thing. But on Periscope, it's like trolls be dropping in left and right. It was crazy, crazy. Fireplace makes it all cozy. Isn't it nice? I just like the video. I did the video yesterday with the fireplace, and I really liked it. Got a lot of really good feedback on it. People seem to really enjoy it. And then I was just concerned about, you know, I installed this app and I wasn't sure how to use it. And I ended up uninstalling it yesterday. It was too hard, not too hard to learn. It was going to take me too long to figure out how to do all the techie stuff with it. So then I thought, oh, great. Now that fireplace is going to be like making tons of noise in the background. So I'm glad it's not distracting from anybody's enjoyment of our conversation. I was also talking to a live expert. I think it was yesterday. And she was really saying 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. I said, well, Facebook told me 10. She went, no, 30 minutes. I don't know if I can do 30 minutes, but we'll see. So yeah, I did the whole Periscope thing this morning and learned a few things. I think it's a different medium over on Periscope. I think it has to be more of a short form. This morning I did the what we had talked about yesterday on 10 tips to overcome depression in the holidays. And I got my first thumbs down on YouTube. I guess that's to be expected, but I thought, what a funny video to pick to give a thumbs down on is one on depression and helping people overcome depression. So you never know, whatever. So how's everybody doing this morning? I was catching up on the news and reading. I know Barack Obama, I guess yesterday he pardoned more people in one day that have ever been pardoned in human history in one day. Hey, good morning, Brandon. I know my sister Sherry was over on Periscope, so she's probably going to be over here this morning too. They always do 30 plus a few more, says Terry. Yeah, that's about it. So it's kind of funny. Good morning, Michael. So then I know Barack Obama pardoned more people yesterday than have ever been pardoned in one day in all of the history of our country. So I thought that was interesting. Then, of course, we had the attack in Berlin. And a friend and coach Video won't stop freezing. You know, if you leave it after a while, I think it becomes more of a dedicated stream, Mary. So, I think, let me double check my settings. Yeah, I'm still streaming out low at 700, so it shouldn't be. You're on the road. Where are you, Brandon? So I know yesterday it was 9 people had died. So one of my friends and coaches and mentors in social media is a guy by the name of Alex Kahn, and he is based in Munich, which is like 350 miles from Berlin. But he knew people in Berlin, and he wasn't going to scope yesterday, and he finally went on, and he was super, just so sad about it. And people are just saying, well, it wasn't the Muslims' fault and all that kind of stuff. Attack in Berlin. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lots of comments. All of someone flying by. Looks good on the road. Okay, good. Chile, Wisconsin. Good morning. Thank you so much for the follow back. There you are. Iconic. And tell me, how do you say your name? This gentleman was so nice to me over on Periscope when the trolls be going bad. It's Cosmic. Is that what it is? Cosmic Nawaji? I'm going to butcher it and apologize. So thanks for jumping over here this morning, too. Brandon, you're on your way to Lafayette. No freezing for Terry. Just freezing temperatures. Absolutely. So, yeah. And then somebody jumped in and said, oh, Muslims are bad. And I went, okay, wait a minute. We've got bad atheists. We've got bad Christians. We've got there's just bad people in the world. Block, and then some girl jumps on and is like, oh, you're just an old husbandless hag who doesn't have a life, who's just on Periscope. I'm like, gone. I'm like, wow, you really have to have it's like, seriously? My kids are like, does that offend you? I'm like, no, it's shocking to me, that people don't know you can make such comments and be so mean. So 1 degree for Jocelyn. Wow. Up in Alberta, Canada. Balmy. Yeah, I know, Michael. What is wrong with people? It's just a different culture on Periscope. I think it's better for short form, and it's better for, rapid fire things. People check in and out. I had over 1,000 people that checked in and out of the scope. Did a huge spike at the top of the hour because I started at 1:45 the hour. So I kind of looked back at the statistics. But it's just a different group of people. So it just seems to be more trolls over on Periscope, which, okay, whatever. That's fine. I got my family here on Facebook Live too, but Periscope is definitely part of a wider live strategy and marketing and business and more of a platform. And starting the new year, when we take the show a little bit more mainstream as far as doing interviews and that type of thing, I'm just considering how I'm going to do that, broadcasting it, triple streaming it on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope at the same time, being able to keep up with all the comments and that type of thing. And the equipment to do that is kind of pricey too. Cosmic is pronounced Cosmic. Oh, okay. Oh, I got your last name right. Oh, thanks, fantastic. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Periscope won't let you use the accent marks. That's very true. Cosmic Nawaji. Ah, fantastic. I always like when I get people massacre my name, and I'm like, it's really not that hard. It's Colleen. So, but people say Colleen and whatever. Brandon said their religion stipulates violence against unbelievers. Well, that's true. That's true. And as there are a lot of religions, and they'll either religious extremists in all brands of religion too. So we got them everywhere. So I wanted to talk about hope today. I thought hope would be a nice place, a nice diversion from depression. Kind of feels all in the same thing, because I think it kind of goes hand in hand. Because when we're feeling hopeless, it goes hand in hand with depression. And then I thought with the Berlin attack yesterday, and now 12 people are not going to be around for their families at this time of year. And there's those feelings of hopelessness. And I think some of that hopelessness comes from a lack of control, or not feeling in control of things. And I think that goes hand in hand with the depression issue as well. And when everything around seems to be going so bad, I think we focus so externally on things that we feel that things are happening to us, that we have no control over it, and it beats us down. And there's been times in my life where, it just seems like, again, I can't handle one more thing. And it just keeps piling on and piling on and piling on. And that's when you need some strategies. You need some people in your life. You need something to turn to that can help you get the entire life perspective back. I know a friend of mine, she had her sister and her dad committed suicide within a year of each other. And she felt, oh, you did inbox me. Okay, thank you, Cosmic. She felt out of control, and that sense of hopelessness, and nothing she did, she felt could make her happy. And there's people I know that are in a bad marriage. Hey, Rosemary. Good morning. That's what's going on in my life. Okay. Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Amen. And for people who have faith, I don't know how people without a faith can deal with life and the things that happen. There's another friend of mine that when she discovered, a situation with her husband, and he was having these extramarital affairs with another man. So there's one thing when you find out that your spouse has been unfaithful, and then you find out that they have same-sex disorder or attraction or whatever, and so that compounded things for her. And there's those feelings that she had to deal with for that as well. So there's feelings of hopelessness that can happen within 1 year of each other. Yeah. There's feelings of hopelessness, like nothing I do is ever going to work, or my efforts don't matter, and nothing makes a difference, and I have total. So it comes down, I think, to a lack of control, and we feel like we don't have control of the things that are happening to us, which oftentimes is the case. We don't have control over what's happening around us because other people impact that. How do people without faith agree? Yeah, Dorothy. Yana, I was just thinking about you. I watched this show from, it was called Noble, and it was shot in Norway, and I was just thinking about you. It was shot in Oslo. Anyway, somebody else is having a problem with the feed breaking up this morning, too. Excuse me. So we don't have control over the weather. We don't have control over other people's actions. We don't have control over how life happens around us. What we do have control over is what we do with it, how we think about things, how we process that, and what we do about it. So even though we don't feel we have control, that's true. And we had a tornado, a funnel cloud, actually go over the top of the house a couple of years ago. We were like idiots. We're outside going, please don't come down. Please go down. And we just watched it go over the top of the house. Well, what happened if a finger of that tornado had come down and destroyed our house? What do you do? So, good morning, Paula. Faith makes suffering seem so much more bearable and gives it purpose. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Mary. So we were standing outside, and when you see the power of a storm and there's nothing you can do about a tornado bearing down on you, what do you do? Or, there's all those things that are happening externally. So I think learning to respond differently is the key. I really think that's a key to so many things in life. When we were talking about depression yesterday, and I spent a lot of time answering private messages and emails, and so that was a topic that really touched home for a lot of people that may not personally be dealing with depression, but dealing with people in their life that were dealing with depression. Cosmic says, Paul says, we don't mourn as those that have no hope. People of faith, any faith, have hope beyond hope. Yeah, I love Paul. Yeah. You were in one. Oh, you were in a tornado, Rosemary? Yikes. I never have been. I came close, like the one time when the funnel cloud was going over the top of the house, but that was the only time. So there are times when you feel stuck, and that it's normal. It's just part of, oops, forgot to turn the notifications off here, sorry. It's a normal situation where you do kind of feel stuck, and that's okay. But it's important to have hope. It's important to relax and trust and know that everything is going to be okay, things tend to work themselves out. Remember the one a couple of weeks ago we were talking about having a time that you set aside to worry. If you really feel the need to worry, write all the things you're worried about on a little piece of paper and put them in a jar. And then once a week you have your worry hour and you just pull out all those little things and look at them, and 90% of them don't exist anymore. So we are worrying about things that don't need to be worried about. And worry, again, worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but you're not getting anywhere. So why do it? It is kind of a waste to worry. And it's not doing us any good to feel hopeless or that sense of despair. Michael says, I deal with mental health issues. My Catholic faith is the one thing that keeps me going. I literally would not be here without it. I know many people that can say the same thing. The Ontario, big one. Wow, Rosemary, I remember that. You've been in a tornado 3 times, Brandon. Oh, my word. That's craziness. That's absolute craziness. But having a sense of hope and that optimism and that trust that things will work out the way they're supposed to work out. People have less anxiety. They have better health, less depression. Okay, my blocking is not working right now. They have higher self-esteem, higher self-confidence, higher sense of self-worth when they learn to relax, to trust, to love, to be more accepting, to relax into the moment and into a situation. And it's one of the biggest predictors of people in their life being successful, overcoming challenges, being able to stick with a health plan, a diet plan, or anything like that, is someone that has a sense of hope and trust. Because that's how I equate hope. Hope is kind of a trust that God's going to work everything out the way it's supposed to work out. So one of the things you can do to help grow in that ability to hope and be optimistic and to trust is get clear on what you feel that you want in your life, or where you're going in your life, or what your mission is in your life. Because I truly, truly, truly believe that each person is here for a reason. And it makes me very sad when people commit suicide, because I think they're leaving undone what they were meant to do with their life. And they got into that hopeless situation, or they got into that depths of despair where they felt that either they weren't good or they weren't good enough, or for whatever reason that, people do commit suicide, that I think their mission is not able to be accomplished now. Because I truly believe all of us are here for a reason, and we all have been given desires and gifts and special things that only you can do. And I don't encourage people. A lot of people say, oh, you used to be a model and an actress. And, I did a lot of acting. I did commercials and little bit parts on soap operas and stuff like that. And people will come, and of course, I won the Miss Michigan teenager thing, right? And so people say, oh, my daughter. I'm like, no, I don't think that's the best path. But I also know a friend of mine, Eric Damaray, he runs the theater department at the University of St. Thomas in Houston. And he had a gal who's very, very talented. So she goes out to LA to pursue. And I know a lot of people that lived in LA and left and had very successful lives working as an actor or an actress. And so, but there's a company out there called Hollywood. There's a company out in LA called Hollywood. So they take these Christian actors and actresses and they meet and they have prayer groups and they support each other to maintain their virtues and maintain their faith in an industry that surrounds them that may not be supportive of their decisions. So there are industries I wouldn't pick to go into, but there are people that are strong enough in their faith that they go into these industries and they're able to make an impact. My friend Barbara Nicolosi, she runs Act One Media. She teaches Christians how to write for soap operas, how to write for these movies. And one of her graduates wrote the movie, it was with Tia Leone and the other guy that did all of those. Oh my gosh. It was about a dad. Oh, what is his name? It's going to drive me nuts. Anyway, it was a delightful movie. One of her graduates also worked on a soap opera where she was able to sit at this meeting of all these writers and say, no, as a single girl, I don't think she should be having sex outside of marriage. And so that was a huge victory for her. Wow, love the background. Thanks, Maria. So that was a huge victory for her because as a Christian writer, she was able to impact all these writers at the table so that this character in the soap opera would not have sex outside of marriage. There was a huge win, you know, and if she hadn't been there and if she hadn't decided to pursue this industry, what other impact does that have now that, you know, maybe that character went on to have sex outside of marriage and all the, you know, teenage girls that are watching that show and that's their favorite character and they go, oh, well, she did it. I should do it. It's okay. You know, so I think we're all here for a reason and we all have a goal. Yeah, there's an amazing organization. Family Man, there was that, Nicolas Cage. Oh my gosh, Sharon, how did you pick that up? I said, Tia Leone. It was an amazing movie. I loved that movie. Oh my gosh. And it was so relatable on so many different levels. It was just kind of like a time travel thing. And I kind of like time travel. So it was like, you know, it was kind of like It's a Wonderful Life, but modernized and stuff. Oh, it was such a good movie. How did you ever pick that up? You were like reading my mind. That was amazing. So you just watched it? No kidding. I just think it's a delightful movie. You know, the only thing is like, you know, there's some people that might be offended about her in the shower, you know, but other than that, so I've been sitting here for a while, and this is actually my refill thing. I'm going to refill my coffee. It's quite cold at this point. So there we go. So anyway, knowing that we're all here for a reason. So having hope and trust in God that things are going to work out okay. So framing your life, your brain, your conversations with yourself in a manner that is more positive and more optimistic that, oops, I kind of overfilled this, that things happen for a reason. We're all here for a reason. Let me top this off. And getting clear on what we want. That helps with a sense of optimism, of hope. Following through and not being thrown off of your life mission, no matter what happens. There's so many people that start, for example, in acting, because I was talking about that. They start in the acting industry and they don't have immediate success. And again, depending on your temperament, we have our temperaments class tonight. That will determine, you know, some temperaments need quick success. Other temperaments are slow and steady wins the race, and they're okay with that. But when you have a high right brain type temperament, they tend to go into the entertainment industry and they like quick successes. And when they don't get that, they tend to quit easily. Because you can go on, I would go in when I was modeling, and people would look at my headshots and then look at me and they go, we were really looking for somebody with blue eyes. And I don't like the fact that you have that little mole thing in the middle of your neck. I lost a job because of this little freckle thing, this mole. And so I learned to look at myself objectively as a product. Where, like, you know, I would take my pictures. I could look at my pictures when I would go get headshots and stuff done. I don't like this. I don't like that angle. I don't like this. I don't like that. And people outside the industry are like, wow, you're awfully critical of yourself. I said, well, it's a product. I don't look at it as me. You know, it's an image. It's a brand. It's things that I'm building, you know. So there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry that are very, very talented that quit. They lose hope. They lose that sense of encouragement because they didn't get a couple of jobs. Well, you have to understand, you go to 25 interviews and you get one job, or you go 10 interviews and you get one job, or you go to 50 interviews and you get 2 jobs, you know, whatever. I think the people that become successful are the ones that just stick around. They're like, well, I don't know what else to do. This is kind of what I think I'm here for, and this is my life. So they just keep plugging along, and then eventually they work their way up the ladder through the business. And they may not be the most talented people, but they just are the ones that had the most hope. And they were more optimistic, and they stuck to their plan, and they just kept plugging along. Most people, says Terry, don't have immediate success at all in the acting industry. There's people that have been around for 20, 30 years that all of a sudden are overnight successes, you know. And I know people head out to Hollywood. They go out to LA all the time. And you take people like, I love Chris, what's his name? Is it Chris Pratt? is his name, that's in Guardians of the Galaxy. I love his story because he was so stupid. He's in LA and he meets this guy like at the post office, says, yeah, I'm a photographer. Come over to my apartment. Why don't you take a shower? And he was like, okay. He's just really Midwest trusting and innocent, you know, and he said that could have turned out really bad, but come to find out, the guy did some headshots for him and it turned out really well, but stupid. Hey, there's my sister Sherry. I was telling him about Sherry. I was telling him about the trolls on Periscope. Whoa, craziness over there. So following through talking. Okay, we talked about that. Doing a mindset makeover as far as, you know, talking to yourself. Other people's criticism is more than enough in life. So learning to talk to yourself kindly and with charity is really important to keep your hope alive and to keep yourself focused, because other people's criticism is more than enough. So being more hopeful in your language to yourself and using positive language. Look back at the good things that happen. And we've talked about that more than once, but I think in a matter of gratitude and keeping that gratitude journal and keeping yourself positive, it's okay to look back and relive the joy and the happy moments in our life. And not in a comparative way, like, gosh, I was really happy back then and now life just stinks, you know, but to look back and say, God was with me. You know, that Footsteps in the Sand, that poem. Hey, good morning, Antoinette. How are you? Yay, Sherry's here, says Victoria. The poem, The Footsteps in the Sand, to recognize that, you know, when we felt the worst and the most horrible, and that's when God was carrying us, and that's when we really were surrounded by true love and hope, and God never leaves us. But it doesn't, our feelings, I don't feel like God is with me, and understanding that those feelings aren't necessarily true. Feelings aren't right or wrong. They just are. They're feelings, right? And the fact that you can change that. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? You can change that by, oh, this isn't a pen. This is an X-Acto knife, but, you know, pretend this is a pen. And, oh, there it is. Holding a pen in your mouth for 2 minutes. A pen or a pencil, because that'll get your happiness chemical. So feelings can betray us all the time. It doesn't feel right. But you can tap in, of course, you can tap into some of your intuition and type of things. So that intuition, if it's right or wrong, you have to learn how to read your own intuition. Learning to laugh at yourself. For sanguine temperaments, this comes very easily. They don't mind telling embarrassing stories, laughing at themselves, and that type of thing. But for other temperaments, like a choleric who doesn't ever want to make a mistake, and they're very embarrassed about ever making mistakes, or melancholics who are very detail-oriented, there is something in my eye, that they have a hard time laughing at themselves. Oh, there it is. But learning to laugh at yourself is a really important life skill, and not taking yourself too awful seriously. If your mind says you're failing and you're going to get worried and, you know, oh, I blew it, I made a mistake. The pencil trick really does work, doesn't it, Carrie? It's amazing. Just walk around with that pencil in your mouth. It's, you know, I laugh at myself all the time, says my sister. Yeah, well, we do too, Sherry. No. Let's see, sisters, we can do that. So learning to realize that you're not perfect. It's okay. And if you make a mistake, just laugh about it. Michael says, I think a lot of it's being in the right place at the right time, too. Yeah. You know, but people, I just remember, people will say, oh, you're so lucky. You're just so lucky. Well, we talked about this the other day. Luck is the residue of hard work, and consistent luck is a skill. See, I still have that written down. I forget who, I didn't write down who told me this one, but consistent luck is a skill. So being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people. I've said this to my children. I know a lot of people. I can make introductions for you, but your talents, your character, your perseverance is going to keep you there. I can get you in front of somebody, but you have to keep yourself there. Mary says, yeah, that's exactly me. I have to learn to laugh at myself. Certainly doesn't come easy. Yeah. You know, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes when you realize you're not perfect and you're going to goof around. And it also helps you deal with those feelings of embarrassment or self-disappointment type of thing, when you can learn to laugh at yourself and enjoy the journey. Sometimes we want to get there so fast that we're so focused on the goal and how long it's taking us to get there that we're not smelling the roses that are around us. We're not enjoying the journey or enjoying the process of getting to that point. Because sometimes you get there, and then when you reach a goal, learning to celebrate it and just go, whew, this is great. And sometimes we're like, okay, good, check it off the list and we're moving on to something else, as opposed to just living in that moment, soaking up those feelings so that you can go back to those times and relive those moments. You know, it's like the people who win a gold medal. They've worked their entire life to get to the Olympics, and then they're standing on that podium listening to the national anthem for a minute and a half. They worked their whole life for that minute and a half. Man, soak it up. Enjoy every moment. Focus on, you know, especially things like weddings or happy moments. Sometimes you plan so much for the wedding, you're not planning for the marriage. So there's always that too. So enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. And then recognize that you have hope. People are, oh, I don't have any hope. Yeah, you do. You've got it. Just, maybe it was Jocelyn that told me that one. Consistent luck is a skill. I forget who it was. But you have it. The fact that you saw the topic for today was about hope and you showed up, that means you've got hope. Well, I hope this helps me. Guess what? You have hope. You already have it. So learning that you have this is sometimes can really open your eyes and soak it in and realize that it's already there. Oh, Dorothy Louise. Yeah, it was your college chemistry teacher who said it. Consistent luck is a skill. See, I wrote it down. I just didn't write down who told me. I am now, though. Dorothy. Chemistry teacher. Yeah. Yeah, I remember it was we were in Disney World. My dad had called to make arrangements for us to go to Disney, and it was just the youngest two kids, my mom and my dad and my brother and I, that went to Disney. Sorry, Lori and Sherry, you didn't get to go. They're still a little bitter about that. That we got up in the morning and we had to take a little tram over to Disney World, take a tram over to the park. And then we were told, stay off the grass. There's still dew on the grass. And because you don't want to get your shoes wet, because then your shoes will be wet all day and then you'll get blisters and that kind of stuff. And so I'm on the grass. And my dad's, Colleen, get off the grass. And I'm like, oops, busted. And I look down, and there in the grass is a $20 bill. And I said, well, is it okay if I go in the grass to get this? Which is not why I was in the grass. And I pick up this $20 bill. Well, yes, dear, it is. My brother was so mad. He was like, she could fall in a pile of horse manure and come out smelling like a rose. And I don't know how true that is. Is that true, Sherry? You go once a year and you live right next to it. Yeah, I know. And then we would go, there was the other thing is I remember pay phones. Every time we would stop at the gas station to regas, or we would stop at one of those relief centers along the side of the road. What are they called? I was up early this morning, which is why I went on Periscope, so I'm a little bit tired. You can tell I'm a little unfocused this morning. Also, because I told you our well went out, and that I was drinking. We're not quite sure what happened. We think it got to the bottom of the tank and bad water came out. So I've been dealing with, it's kind of like food poisoning. So imagine food poisoning, and we think it was from the water because I was the only one that drank the water. And so I've had these stabbing pains in my stomach and all these other problems. Rest areas, that's what it's called. And so we would stop at the rest areas or gas stations, and I would go to all the pay phones and I would check for money. And so my brother and I would run to the payphones and check for money. And I would go and I'm like, as fast as I can. And he would check a couple and he was like, well, there's no money here. And I would keep going. I checked them all. And I always got more money. And he said, how come you're so lucky? Well, it wasn't that I was lucky. I checked all the phones. He would check a couple and stop, so it was consistent. Luck is a skill, or luck is a residue of hard work. I kept checking and checking and checking and checking, so when you say somebody's lucky, you have to look at all the work that they did as well. And you can tell it's a sore spot for me when people say, oh, you're so lucky. I've had some really low times in my life. So, I mean, very low times. I choose not to talk about those things, and I choose not to focus on those things. So maybe that's why it seems I'm luckier than others, that there's just things I don't want to talk about. Hope is the key to not being depressed. Yeah, it's just making sure you persevere through the less hopeful times that makes it so difficult. Yeah, that's very well said, Terry. Thank you for that. Because there's going to be ups and downs. And like I talked about yesterday, depression, we all go through times of sadness and being depressed. And the class that I took over the weekend on the brain, when it was talking about depression, it said it's like a common cold. So if we stopped for one day and slept it off and took our vitamin C and drank our tea and whatever, we could get through the common cold quicker. But we just keep powering through it because it's just a cold. And minor depression or sadness is like that. We all have it now and again in our life. And a lot of times we just keep going and we don't stop long enough to dig down, deal with it, find out what's causing it, and move through it. Horse manure has... Well, yeah, Sherry, you deal with horse manure every day. You're mucking stalls. So what do you have, 5 mares, I think? So anyway, so I just wanted to talk about hope today. And we were talking about the Berlin attack. And it's just so sad. And my friend Alex, of course, living in Germany, he lives in Munich. And he said it's the second time in 1 year that his country has suffered from an attack like this. I think it's actually more than that because they've had a couple of beheadings in the street too. But to have 2 terrorist attacks on his home turf, and then to find out that this guy was a refugee that came in. So Angela Merkel is probably not going to run her fourth term, because she really wanted to open the borders and that kind of stuff. 5 mares and 4 weanlings. 4 little ones. Can I just say 4 little ones? So anyway, I thought hope would be kind of a follow-up on yesterday's depression and talk about hope today, because it was just a really bad situation in Berlin, and I feel really bad. I have a couple of friends over there right now, and they're fine. So Christian made it. Hey, good morning. How are you? 5 pregnant, first due. Cowgirl affair? Ooh, she's the one that just had a winner. One of her offsprings won last weekend, right? That was one of Cowboy Affair's fillies. I can't remember. They're fillies, they're colts, they're yearlings, I don't know what they're called. I have to get all my terminology right. So, yeah, so she's due in a couple of weeks. Not a couple of weeks, couple of months. 6 weeks, I guess, on the 7th. You got it down to the date. Wow. So, anyway, so let's toss in some prayer requests. Let me get over here and pull up. Yeah, she's the one that, okay, she did. So throw in some prayer requests, and let me pull up the prayer list over here as I enjoy my beautiful fire. Ha! Whew, tired this morning. 2-year-old colt. Cowboy affair. Colt. Got it. Oh, you had horses too, Jocelyn? Say, there you go. Terry says, oops, people say that I'm lucky I'm so thin and fit. Like it came in a bottle, right? That's just the way I am, but they forget that I work really hard on my diet and physical fitness. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. That it was Cher that said if back in like the 70s, I think, when they first started having all those gyms and 24-hour fitness and all that kind of stuff, if a good body came in a bottle, everybody'd have one. It takes work. It's hard work. And you have to stick to your diet and your exercise. And I think that's after I got out of television. I'm like, I am so done with having to be skinny and fit and all that kind of stuff all the time. So yes, Rosemarie, please pray for Rosemarie. Prayers for my sister Sherry's friend, Lisa, who's still dealing with liver cancer. Wow, lots of prayers over here. Pray that my husband gets a job. He's supposed to be hearing back from the job he recently interviewed for. So prayers that he gets the job for LR. For VH, a few and special intentions for my son who's in medical school. He may have to leave medical school because of morality issues. He's worked so hard to get in for the past 5 years, invested much money already. Wow, that's so hard. For KP's husband, for GS for her husband's birthday today, special intentions. For LW for her preemie twins and her toddler. They stay healthy and strong this flu and RSV season. For BC, my husband has a rare life-threatening pneumonia. Wow, I didn't know that, sweetie. He's been in the hospital over a week, and I want him to live so much. I want him to be home with us for Christmas. I just want my little girls to have a good Christmas. It's hard when Daddy is so very sick. So for BC. I'm sorry, honey, I didn't know. For LL, our nation and our world to turn to the Lord and know peace. For ET, a special intention. For MT, for our families, cooperation with God's will, generous spirit, joy in the doing. For JB and Thanksgiving. My nephew's much better today. Oh, how sweet. For MC, for special intentions, and for Colleen Hammond, thank you. For BL, that my Swiss friend Sophie gets a good report today and no longer has cancer. So let me pop back over to us here. Dorothy Louise says, agree about the lucky thing. Worked my way through college, scrimped, saved. Parents didn't pay for it. Me neither. So, yeah, you're so lucky. Yeah, I worked my butt off. Jocelyn for Alberta homeschooling, salvation, protection for friends and family. My eldest son's violin shop for health. And for Colleen, thank you. Hard work and better decisions for Dorothy. Terry says for her friend Susan's husband, Joel, who had a stroke last Friday. They put him in an induced coma to make... and they're not getting any physical response to bring him out of the coma. Oh, man. Oh, man. To make repairs. Okay, thank you. Usually I can figure out what a word is, but couldn't figure out that one. So thanks for getting that one in there. And for I'm going to go take a nap because I'm exhausted. For all in need. Oh, phone call for Sherry. She has to pop off. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go take a nap and then finish uploading some things. And huge day yesterday. I didn't sleep well last night. Like I said, I think we had bad water because of the well going out, and the well pump went out for like 36 hours. So I think we had some problems with the water, but I was the only one that accidentally drank it because we went and bought the bottled water, and I forgot. I got caught up in things, and I accidentally drank I think it was moldy. I think is what happened. So that didn't help me yesterday or last night either. Thank goodness. I thank God for charcoal. So I took some charcoal, and that seemed to help. So, hey, Aisha, how you doing, my friend? I was on Periscope this morning. Wow, the trolls over there, my friend. Whoa, crazy nuts. So, anyway, so let me think. I was going to say something else. All right. Sorry. Totally lost my mind. So I apologize for that. And sorry for being so disjointed this morning. Like I said, I hardly slept at all last night. Been really sick with the whole water thing and the gut thing. And it's like somebody's stabbing me in the stomach over and over and over again. So, but it's kind of like food poisoning. So it's been kind of rough. So I only got a couple hours of sleep last night. So I'm all rambly and wonky today. So anyway, now I'm going to go do some videos, upload them into my OBS class website. And then tonight we've got the temperaments class. So all of you that are in the temperaments class really enjoy that. Yeah, the trolls. You haven't been on in a while? Yeah. I haven't been over in Periscope. I don't think I did a scope at all last week. Things were crazy busy. So anyway, so those, yeah, I am feeling better today. Oh, Jack's 10th birthday today. Happy birthday to Jack. Happy birthday. My parents used to always call me on my birthday and sing to me over the phone. It always made me uncomfortable. Anybody else's parents do that? My husband's birthday was last week, and his mom called and sang to him over the phone. He was like... It was so cute. All right, going to wrap it up and get out of here. I got a lot of work to do today. I'm sure you do as well. So everybody have an amazing day. And we will see you here back tomorrow morning, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, thanks for being here. God bless. Please pray for me. All this health problems made his day. Oh, that's so sweet. That's the link for the mom and the baby who died. Oh, did you put it in? I missed it. For my son Austin, who's 22 today, another birthday for Joanne. Feel better. Yeah, food. It's kind of like food poisoning. Yeah. That's so funny. Hey, Francina! Francina just had her, did it go, are you done? She had her last radiation treatment that was supposed to be yesterday, and the machine broke, so she had to go in today. You just got here. I'm just saying goodbye. Did you do your treatment? Yeah, check the replay. It was kind of rambly today. And I did a Periscope this morning. Nutty trolls there. Yeah, smack my head. But did you get your radiation treatment? Are you done now? Are you done? Was the radiation treatment? Did you get to do it? It still broke. Well, you know what? We're celebrating anyway. We'll just keep celebrating. We celebrated yesterday. We'll celebrate today. We'll celebrate tomorrow. You know, I know truth is stranger than friction. Fiction. Paula, for my kids, last day of school for before Christmas today. Yeah, a lot of kids coming home from school, and homeschoolers like us that, you know, well, I'm not homeschooling anymore, but the kids are there. Well, Francina, we'll just say it's going to be tomorrow. Oh, man, I'm getting all these messages. So, anyway, I still want to get on the phone with you. So, crazy nuts. They ordered the wrong part. Well, hopefully they order the right part today, and you can get that last radiation treatment in. And if you're looking for, Francina runs the Career Engineer, and she has amazing advice for people going through career transitions. And when we start doing interviews at the beginning of next year, I'm going to have her on the show, because I think what she does is so important for people going through transition. It's really, really fun. You're going to scope about it later. Fantastic. Oh, Mary says your grandparents used to always call and sing to your birthday. You loved it. Always makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, what do I do? Do I sing along? You can't sing along. They're singing to me. And I'm like, you know, like, oh, thank you. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, we'll do it on Skype because I'm on my PC, so OBS works really well on PC. All right, I need to get out of here. I know you guys do too. So have an amazing, blessed, and glorious day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. All righty, take care. God bless. Bye.